Okay, so I just tried making this video before, but it didn't work. So Fishman Island Part 1, so 62, it was pretty good. We got an introduction to the Straw Hats again, just engaging. I didn't do 61 because I haven't read 61 yet, so that's unfortunate, but it's a library rental. We see the Kraken, so I was wrong on that. And then we see the Migawata kind of, head up, and we see them kind of fight these new Fishman pirates. I guess this is their new symbol here. And they're very similar to Arlong, basically. They're the same thing. I love the design for the underwater thing, underwater kingdom. We see Cammy again. We see the starfish that she had. She took, Luffy's a lot stronger. He took all these people out with just a jet pistol. So it's pretty cool how we're basically just starting to see. And then this woman basically ruins, like, she creates her own prophecy by saying that they're going to cause all this problem. And then they do, but it's only because of her, And then we see, the introduction of King Neptune, because Luffy saved this whale, of course, or Shirahoshi's shark. And Shirahoshi shows up, and I love the interaction when Luffy calls her a wimp, and she's drawn very beautifully, but she cries like literally all the time. Kind of irritating, but at the same time, like she was raised that. And we later see the Queen did the same thing. So honestly, 62 is really, really good. Good intro, good start. The villains are very kind of bad, but we just start with that. And then we see Hachi, and we see him and how he got messed up, which is always a bummer. Van Decker's just total creep, major creep, super creep. I love these little little front panels we see. And so Van Decker shows up. We see everyone, including Robin, head to this forest. So all the Migawata are gonna head up there. Then we see Frankie accidentally do some racism with Tom's brother. He says you don't look like him and all that, and he's like, well, you don't know anything about Fishman. Then are you part robot? I thought that line was pretty good. And then we see, Luffy basically, Zoro Sensei. We basically see Luffy take this guy out with this new attack. I think he did. It's just Jet Hammer. Yeah, look at Hody. He just put a fisherman in front of his attack. Like, he preaches about how humans are so inferior, yet he's willing to just sacrifice his own men. It's real nice. And Zoro, I thought this fight was gonna go longer. But, no. He just takes him out like nothing. Like, he's a bitch. I love how Sanji, the gag where he just keeps having a nosebleed. But then he, mentions about the all blue. He gives up on the all blue just because of the mermaids. And that's... I don't respect Sanji, really. And he does... I do think it's pretty funny when he first sees the princess. And Shirahoshi's not that great, but... she gets kind of annoying, but at the same time, she's a pretty good character. Yeah, and then we see Jet Hammer, I think it is. Jet Hammer is pretty cool. And he took down, he was tied up, and he took him down. And he's just bouncing over, yeah, no big deal. So what, I'm tied up. And they escape. And then we see Zoro cutting Hody Jones. Hody Jones, man, dude, what are you doing? Arlong didn't get taken out Arlong did know that Zoro was strong, though. He, sensed that shit, so... And then he gets, the steroid pill, and now he's, gonna be really strong again. Whatever. Hody Jones still sucks ass, in my opinion. He's just... terrible. I would have never thought to see Jinbei's face like that. But I love how he says the princess, and then he's like, Hachi. He's like, what are all these people doing here? And then we see this backstory. Nami kind of starts this off by talking about, her life and all that. And then Sanji, is ready to kick Jinbei's ass. Luffy would have bodied Sanji if he actually touched Jinbei after all that he did. Sanji's just... I don't have any respect for him. And I guess he was thought up this far. Even in... I almost said Kishimoto. Even Oda had to put this in about Johnny talking about Jinbei, because I don't remember that happening at all. And then she remembers all this stuff, but then we really see the gut of it. You see, this is why I don't think Shirahoshi's a bad character, because she's just doing what her mom did. She's at least imitating it. And her mom was a great character. She was very motherly to this area, and she was like willing to cry for these people because of their problems. And I mean, look how big Shirahoshi was as a kid compared to the Queen, And so it's pretty good, we really start getting into it. We see this Fisher Tiger guy, which he has a different approach to it, but he still does the same thing. He got Boa Hancock out, he got all the slaves out. We saw that in Boa Hancock's arc, and so that was pretty good. But this backstory we're starting to get, and seeing Jinbei as, a younger man and stuff, it's interesting for sure. And Fisher Tiger just takes him on like nothing. And like Arlong was ready to beat this kid. Koala, like damn, like what a piece of crap. And you could tell that she's like just smiling, not to be creepy, but like she has to. It's like a Luffy kind of thing. It's just like a mechanism. And I like how a lot of the fishmen, like especially Hachi, are like, nah, we're fine with you. We don't mind you as a human. And then like this panel is one of the sadder panels when he's taking her off, and then like the parents look at him like he's a monster and he's a creep, and it's just like and then of course they get him. He could have like a $500 million bounty by the time, or not. I mean, he literally attacked Marijosa, and although he was bleeding badly and stuff, he was still kicking it. Kizaru, the worst of all, like him and Ake, I completely hate him so much. One day I hope to see him have a panicked face. I just really hope to see him panic instead of him just being a cocky asshole. And then, Arlong's, the race stuff that gets brought up in this is pretty crazy, because it's like, who's really right? Who's wrong? Is it good or not? And the Fisher Tiger wasn't willing to accept, like, the blood of the people, to transfer, the human blood into him so he could live, which is messed up, because he could have still changed a lot of things. And, the Queen is like, I felt more sad for the Queen, because she's trying to make them equals with the people, but no matter what, they just will not listen, like over and over and over. They will just not listen to her. And then when she finally does, it's like, it's just too late. Like, a world noble shows up, they should just kill them. Like, yeah, you shouldn't kill humans, in the same way you shouldn't kill fishmen in this world, but it's like, a world noble is like a government official. Like, honestly, just kill him. But it doesn't turn out bad from there, I guess. Although the Queen does take a freaking bullet for this guy, which is ridiculous. That's like pushing it too far. And Shirahoshi's pretty strong. Like, even though she gets, like nerfed, she's still able to control the Neptunians. So really good start. Real quickly, that's just sad. So that's my reaction. See you till next time.